Rashida, I thought this film was really beautiful, and what resonated with me was how it explored the constants of the human experience so well. There's always going to be grief and a need for companionship, no matter what the time period is. What about this time hopping script really appealed to you?
I mean, you said it, Tyler. There's like this there's an essence in this movie that I felt very deeply about being alive and the kind of like there's all these stories we can tell about the history of humanity and the wars that were won and the wars that were fought and the things that were developed, and at the heart of all of that, it really only exists because people loved each other and took very big swings to be together or have a baby or you'd be brave or take the next step or protect their families, whatever it is. Like, that's why we're here. And that's it. I think this movie is a reminder of that. It's like a mirroring back to us now, like, let's not let's not forget. you know
That's really well put. And in David, Claire keeps her guard up in the film. So I wanted to ask you about working with Rashida because your two characters have to have a spark between them, but it can't be igniting too bright. There's a balancing act there. So how was it getting to that right middle ground?
Yeah, I mean, um, I it was I mean, Rashida and I, we've known each other for a long time, and so, it was it on my side of it, was actually, like, pretty easy because he's so in love with her immediately. It was actually, like, the walls really all had to come from Rashida's side. I was like, "I'm in. I'm here. I'm in this, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting it out, and this is where I am," you know? Um, and so I there's that yeah, there's like a wonderful little turning point that happens on a Zoom call with them where she like accidentally says that she loves him. That I am obsessed with that scene. It's such like a wonderful moment in the script. But I think there's so much in the construction of it that did a lot of the work for us. At least I felt that way in terms of yeah, being in love was not the hard part of the movie for me.
Yeah, that's a great scene that you referenced. And Rashida, there's a few time jumps for your characters. We get to see you really late in life near the end. How was that process of seeing yourself old? You pulled off the gray hair pretty well.
Thank you. I loved the way I looked old. I thought if I look like this at, I can't remember what age we were, I'll be very happy. I love the way I looked. Um, it's almost like a relief. We work in this really weird business where people really don't want you to be yourself. Like, they do kind of, but they don't want you to age, and they also want you to not point to it or talk about it. Um, Everybody's very uncomfortable around aging and the conversations about age. And by the way, I too am guilty of it. Like, you look at yourself, you think, "Oh, I don't recognize the person I was 20 years ago." But as I approach, the back half of my life very squarely, I really love the idea of embracing the woman I'm gonna become, because I also know what comes with that. I know how much more I'm gonna know. I know how much more comfortable I'm gonna be in my skin. So it was really cool to see that, like, visualize, the makeup was so beautiful and it felt so real.